Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Floss, back again with another video. And today we're going to take a look at the iPhone 16e. Now, you can pick this one up online. I'll throw the link up in the description. The price on this one starts at $600. Now, on a side note, if you buy this from Apple, you're looking at $652. Keep that in the back of your mind. First things first, shout out to White Shoes, back in the building.
I love my white shoes. I love my white shoes.
White Shoes,
I love my
calm
white
down. Okay, iPhone 16e. Let's unbox it and then we'll talk about the specs. Now, as far as the presentation, nice clean white box. Y'all know I like that. Giggity. Let's see, inside. Okay, this is going to be your 16e. And this is going to be your charging cable. Okay, this is USB Type-C to USB Type-C. All right, Shoes, inspect that for quality. Let's see anything else in here. No Apple Troll stickers. Just your usual books and shit. Okay, now let's peel this off. iPhone 16e. All right. Now, look, no charger in the box. Y'all know we got to address that. Samsung, Google, Apple, nothing. Motorola, Sony, fucking Sony. Put the charger in the box. But I digress. iPhone 16e. Now, let's do the smell test on this one. This one smells like trash, okay? It smells like pure trash. But I'm going to go into this with a completely open mind, okay? Completely open mind. Let's talk about the specs real quick. Now, this one comes in two different colors. You got black or white. For the display, you got a 6.1-inch OLED panel with a resolution of 1170 by 2532. Now, that's 457 for the PPI Patrol. You got HDR10, up to 1200 nits brightness, and a 60 hertz refresh rate. Now, it's IP68, dust and water resistant. You got the ceramic shield on the front for protection, glass on the back with the aluminum frame. Quality build materials. For the processor, you got the Apple A18 with the Apple GPU. Now, that's the 4-core version. What does that mean in English? Flagship specs, bro. Flagship specs. Now, you got 8 gigs of RAM, 128, 256, or 512 gigs of storage. No micro SD card slot for expandable memory. Now, it's running iOS 18 3.1, so that means you're going to get all of the Apple intelligence. Now, the battery, Apple is kind of low-key with the actual numbers, but they're saying the battery is long-lasting. Now, if you ever had an Apple product, you know, you could believe that. Long-lasting battery, but you're getting 7.5-watt wireless charge. Now, for the cameras, on the rear, you got a 48-megapixel wide-angle lens, and on the front, you got a 12-megapixel wide-angle lens. Now, you can shoot 4K video at 60 frames per second from the front and on the rear. Now, of course, you got Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, NFC, you got the action button, you got Face ID, and you got the new Apple C1 modem. All right, so all of that for $652. Now, let me say this. A lot of y'all was expecting me to come out here and roast this phone, okay? I did a post, and a lot of people in the post wanted me to roast this phone, but I can't really roast it. I can't really roast this phone because this might be the best phone of 2025. Okay, this might be the best phone of 2025, and this might be the phone for you. If you're a stupid motherfucker, okay? If you're a stupid motherfucker, then this is the phone that you want. Y'all remember the movie Friday? Remember when Chris Tucker said, you gotta be a stupid motherfucker to get fired on your day off? Let me tell you something. If you walk up in Apple, you go to your neighborhood Apple store, and you walk up in there, and you walk up to the register, and you say, you know what? You take out $652, put it on the table, and say, let me get that new iPhone 16e. Let me tell you something. If you do that, you a stupid motherfucker. And when you get home and you unbox this phone and you start using it, you're going to feel like a fucking banana head. And you know how I know this? Because that's exactly how I feel right now. I feel like the #1 banana head of America. Now, look, let me say this. Let me say this. If this phone was $400, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I would have said, yo, $400? Okay, Fisher Price, my first iPhone. Do your thing. All right, do your thing. But at $652, bro, and that's 128 gigs. Let me tell you something. Somebody right now on this planet, somebody on planet Earth is going to walk up into an Apple store and say, you know what? I want an iPhone 16e. I want 512 gigs. and it's going to cost you $950, and they're going to pay that. Somebody is going to pay $952 for an iPhone 16e. This is the world that we living in right now. All right, let me calm down. Now, before we talk about the things that I do like, because I do like a few things with this phone, let's talk about everything that I don't like and why I say that this phone it's just a stupid fucking phone. It really makes no sense. It really makes no sense. First of all, the price. $650. Even if you don't, maybe you got a deal and you don't pay no taxes, $600. I can show you 20 different Android phones right now that you could get for the same price that will mop the floor with this piece of shit iPhone. Mop the floor. And I'm not talking about Samsung. I know y'all think I'm a Samsung nut hugger. Samsung doesn't make the best mid-range or budget-friendly phones. Oppo Find X8. Now, I can show you right now, this phone is $550. Literally better in every single way. Triple 50 megapixel cameras on the rear, 50 watt fast wireless charge, 4,500 nits brightness. Basically everything that you want in a phone. This phone destroys this phone. It destroys it. But I know what some of y'all getting ready to say. Who cares about these Chinese phones? I don't give a fuck about Xi Jinping. I get it. Some people want an iPhone. Maybe you got an Apple Watch. Okay? Maybe you got a MacBook. Maybe you're in the group chat. You don't want to be that peasant with the green bubble. Okay? Maybe you like using FaceTime, Find My. I get it. Let me give y'all some advice. All right, and I'm talking to y'all as Uncle Floss, okay? Not as Flossy Carter, the reviewer. Uncle Floss, all right? If one of my nephews came to me and asked me for some advice, this is what I would tell him. And this doesn't just apply to iPhones. If you're on a tight budget, you got $600 in your pocket, before you buy this piece of shit right here, let me show you what to do. All right, watch this. And this applies to any phone. Go to eBay, right? Go to eBay and type in, so this is the iPhone 16e, right? Now, we're not even talking about the iPhone 16 series, all of these shit. No. Go to eBay, go to Swappo, whatever, go to Amazon, whatever you do, put in last year's flagship phone, okay? Last year's flagship phone, iPhone 15 Pro Max. Put that up in the search. And this is what you're gonna find, okay? iPhone 15 Pro Max, $695. There's one right there. Okay, iPhone 13, iPhone 15 Pro Max, $526 with the pictures. $735, $690, $650, $650. The same exact price. Now I know what somebody's gonna say, and I'm one of the people who always say this. I don't like buying used phones, okay? You buy a used phone from somebody, you buy a used phone from your homegirl, she might have been making OnlyFans content with it, you know what I'm saying? You buying it from your homeboy, you know he outside jacking off in the middle of the night in his car using an iPhone. Look, I get it. But in this day and age, okay, in this day and age with inflation and the way everything is going, look, man, we gotta start buying used phones, bro. I'm sorry. And you could buy something like this. Now, this is going to run you $40. Y'all seen me review this years ago on one of my Amazon Warriors. This is from Samsung. This is a UV sanitizer. UV sanitizer. Now, me, whenever I sell somebody a phone, the first thing I do is sanitize it. But if I'm personally, I don't like buying used products. But, you know, that's just me. But in this day and age, $650 for this bullshit? Or this? Or these? Look, let's line it up like this. This is an iPhone 15 Plus, okay? Hold up. 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max. All of these phones that you see on the table right now, go look on eBay for yourself. You can find every single one of these phones for the same exact price and cheaper than the iPhone 16e. This is a fucking joke, okay? This is a joke. I'm trying not to get angry, but, bro, this is a joke. All right, let me reel it back in. Let's talk about everything that I don't like. The price, okay? $650, that's outrageous. But keep in mind, that's for 128 gigs. And here's another thing. I know somebody's gonna say, oh, this phone is perfect for the kids. Perfect for the kids. Yeah, if you hate your kids, then this is perfect for your kids. If you hate your kids, this is a perfect phone for them. Look, if your kid is in high school and you buy them this phone right here and they go to school with this, they getting cooked. they are gonna get cooked, they getting roasted, they getting flame broiled. Trust me. Sit your kid down and ask them, which phone would you rather have? Look, daddy's on a tight budget. Listen, little Johnny, okay? If you black, listen, Jamal. Listen, Jamal, daddy's on a tight budget. I got $650. You want a brand new iPhone. I know you want to be, Mr. iPhone. You got two choices. You can get a 16E brand new, so you can get that beautiful presentation, or you can get a used iPhone 15 Pro Max. What you think they're going to choose? What you think they're going to choose? Oh, this phone is great for your parents. Yeah, if you hate your parents. What makes you think your parents don't want the best? Okay? What makes you think your parents don't want the best? Also, I'll add one more thing. I get where Apple was going with this. There's actually a market for this. Everybody doesn't need the top of the line flagship phone. Everybody ain't trying to spend $1,300 on a phone. I get it. If this phone right here, they should have put the Apple A17 chipset. They could have left it just like this, single camera in the rear, because we could argue about that. Some people don't. Some people actually like the minimalistic design. I get it. We could argue about that. But they should have dropped the A17 chipset and sold this phone for $400. At $400, video over. I would have said $400. This is my first iPhone. Do your thing. All right. This is my first iPhone. $650. Are you fucking kidding me? Not to mention 128 gigs. You buy this for your kid. 128 gigs, and they're gonna be taking a whole bunch of photos. They're gonna come back like, Daddy, every time I open the camera, I can't take any photos. They're gonna have 1,001 text message threads, and kids, they're not deleting all of the messages. They want the receipts. All right, they're gonna want receipts. This 128 gigs is gonna go like that. It's gonna go just like that. So you're gonna have to get 256 gigs, $750. Again, I could show you 1,000 Android phones that shit on this for $750, but again, a lot of people want iPhones. Why not do this? Why not do this? These phones are better in every single way. Okay, so I don't like the price. I don't like the storage versions. I don't like the storage versions for those prices. Next. This is 2025 that we in right now. This phone has a 60 hertz refresh rate. Now, I know what y'all getting ready to say, so stop typing. I know what y'all getting ready to say. Oh, with the naked eye, you can't really tell. Nobody really cares. That's what you think. That's what you think. That's because you've been using these 60 hertz peasant phones for so long. Let me show you something. This is the Asus ROG 9 Pro. This has a 185 hertz refresh rate, and this is the smoothest phone on the planet. When you scroll under this phone, look at this. I just press one scroll, and it's non-stop scrolling. This is the difference between 60 hertz, okay, and a high refresh rate. Let me see something real quick. Let's see. Now I'm trying to download as many apps as I can on this phone. Okay, you see that little stutter? That's one scroll. One scroll. Shoes back up. Now, I'm not trying to do it slow on purpose. I don't need the front. Let's go all the way back to the top. One big scroll. Let's go all the way back to the top. You see the difference? Don't act like you don't see the difference. Okay? Look at that. Like the price is right up in this bitch. 60 hertz refresh rate. Even if it's just for bragging rights, okay? At some point, you're going to sit down at the table, and your homeboy's going to have his phone. You got your phone. You got to get into your little nerd phone wars. 60 hertz for this price? Nah, bro. Nah. I'm not feeling that at all. Next. No MagSafe charging. Okay, now even with the peasant version of the iPhone 15, you get MagSafe. Imagine buying an iPhone in 2025 that doesn't have MagSafe. Now, I know what y'all getting ready to say. Oh, just buy a case. Buy a case. Everybody uses cases on their phones. You just dropped $650 fucking dollars. You shouldn't have to buy a case. You shouldn't have to buy a case, okay? Especially when last year's peasant version phone has MagSafe. Okay? You shouldn't have to do that. No MagSafe. Not to mention 7.5 watt fast wireless charge. 7.5. Let me say that again. 7.5 watt fast wireless charge. You got to put the fast in air quotes. This is 50 watt fast wireless charge. Okay? And again, I can show you 1,000 Android phones, but again, let's just stick to iPhones. 7.5 watt wireless charge. That's going to take you 3 business days to charge your phone wirelessly. Okay, 3 to 5 business days. That's unacceptable. And keep in mind, if it was $400, I would be like, okay, yeah. I would be like this holding apples nuts for $400. Y'all got a great peasant phone on deck. But $650, we can't call this a peasant phone. $650, that's real man phone prices. That's real man phone prices. Next, the color choices. Okay, that's not the biggest deal in the world, black and white. I would have liked to have seen a few more colors because if you're going to use that excuse, oh, this is the perfect phone for the kids. The kids want colorful phones. The kids want shit like that. They black or white, they're keeping it safe. All right, I get it. Next, the camera. Okay, let's talk about the camera real quick. Now I want to show y'all something. I went outside and took some photos. Y'all know I do my famous zoom test, right? My famous zoom test. So I stand all the way down the block. I take a picture of the school, and I try to zoom in on that sign. Here's the sign. This is the maximum zoom you're going to get. Here's the sign. Here's the sign. Now let me show you something. I took the same exact photo with an iPhone 15 Pro Max. All right, same exact photo. Let's go to cameras. Okay, I took the same exact photos in succession. Look at the wide angle, way more wider. Hold up, let's do this again real quick. This is the wide angle versus the wide angle. That's as wide as it gets. Then we zoom in a little bit more and look at the sign. Now, this is an iPhone 15 Pro Max. You can actually read the sign now. You can actually read the sign. Android phone. Let's pull out an Android phone. Android phone, $550. Look at the difference. Look at that sign. Now, again, I don't want to turn this into Android versus iOS because a lot of people don't care about Android phones, but I just want to let y'all see that if you're going to drop $600, you're not forced to have this type of shit. There's options. They are options on the market. Okay, there's plenty of options. Look at that zoom test. But anyway, this is the maximum zoom you're going to get. Now, I know a lot of people don't care about zoom and all of that, but look at this. Look at this. And this is one of the reasons why the iPhone isn't my favorite camera anyway, because even on the Pro Max, you see the zoom test. If I pull out my Galaxy, it's going to blow you away. But anyway, the camera, not to mention, let's go to the different camera shooting modes. If you notice, there's no cinematic mode. Now, for me, on the iPhones, that's one of the things that don't get me wrong, I like iPhones. I had to take it to the high voice. I like iPhones. This is my iPhone 16 Pro Max. Okay, now I never got around to doing a full review of it because they waited 3 months to drop Apple Intelligence. But, if I get enough requests on this video, I'll do a follow-up video. But I just thought that, I just waited too long. I love this phone. And one of the things that I love about this phone, let me go open up the camera real quick, is this right here. The cinematic video. Okay, cinematic video. Now, I don't post a lot, but I take a lot of videos for my own personal pleasures, my own personal stuff. Cinematic video, no cinematic video, and trash zoom quality for $652. Next, now this is probably the thing that I hate the most. All right, this is the thing that I hate the most. Let's go to let me open up something. Let's see, what do we have? Okay, let's go to Facebook. That notch. We got the George Jefferson notch back out of retirement. I was so happy when the 15s came out and they had the dynamic island. The dynamic island. I love the dynamic island. Okay, you got the dynamic island. They went back to the notch, bro. They went back to the George Jefferson hairline. And this is another thing. This is why I'm saying, you send your kid to school with this phone, they are going to get cooked. Everybody else pulling out their phones. Everybody got the dynamic island. Everybody doing their thing. And your kid is the only one with the George Jefferson phone. If you hate your kid and you want to teach him a lesson on how to get roasted in school and deal with it, yeah, then bottom this phone. Bottom this phone. But if you love your kid and you want your kid to go to school and have a good time, bottom this phone instead. Look, some of y'all going to say, oh, I don't want the Pro Max. It's too big. You got the 15 Pro. You got the iPhone 15 Pro that has dynamic island. Okay? You got all of the good stuff. Versus 60 hertz. No MagSafe. Big ass notch, single looking camera on the back. I mean, to me, To me, like I said, man, you know, there's a lot of theories floating around online. You know, Apple bring this bullshit out because this is their way to sneak you. This is their way to sneak you into upgrading. Because unless you're a stupid fucking banana head, the average person is gonna look online and see this for $650 and be like, you know what? Let me just go on. Let me see what else I can get for $650. Oh, I can get a 15 Pro. I can get a 15 Pro. Which one you think? Just go and buy looks. If you don't know shit about phones. Okay, this is your first day on Earth. You just came down from the mothership. This is your first day on Earth, and you just looked at two of these phones right here. Which one looks better? Which one looks like it does more? Which one looks more modern? Look at the display. Which one looks more modern? Buy them this one. Buy yourself this one. Anyway, as far as the phone itself, though. You know it's going to have a great battery. Why wouldn't it? 60 hertz refresh rate. Why wouldn't it have a great battery? Oh, Apple has the best battery. Of course it has a great battery. The display is bullshit. 60 hertz. Why wouldn't it have a great battery? But, all trolling aside, one of the things that I love about my 16 Pro Max, the battery does last all day. I mean, Apple might not tell you, okay, this is exactly 5,820 milliamps. They don't have to tell you the exact milliamps of the battery. Because they don't need to, because it actually works. And this is one of the arguments that I get with people all the time. Oh, I want to buy an Apple product because it actually works. It just works. I don't need to know the specs. Go to your friend right now, your friend who has an Asus ROG 9 Pro. You ask them, how many milliamps is the battery? They're going to tell you right off the top of their head. They know. They know. Because there's so many different Android phones in the market, you need to know the battery capacity because they're all different. They all got different chipsets, all different GPUs, and some of them have different battery management. For me, Galaxy with the Snapdragon 8 Elite, battery management has been off the hook. But that's not the case with Apple. So Apple phones, they just work. And here's the thing, man. You know, this is an ongoing debate. All right, this is an ongoing debate. Apple versus Android. And a lot of y'all who be like, oh, you know, Android phones be lagging, Android phones this, Android phones that. It's because you haven't used an Android phone in 5 years, maybe 8 years. You haven't used a real Android phone in the last couple of years, so you don't know. But I always tell people, let me show, I can show you right here. If you haven't used an Android phone in 5 years, you've been using iPhone, you had iPhone 11, 12, 13, 14, and you say, you know what, okay, I'm watching all these Flossy Carter videos, you know what, I want to try an Android phone. Go out and get a Google Pixel. All right, get a Google Pixel. This has been one of the closest Apple experiences that I've had yet. Like if you used to using iOS products and you want that smoothness and that reliability and that battery life and that camera, get yourself a Google Pixel 9 Pro XL. Okay, this will give you a seamless transition from the iPhone 15 Pro Max to the Pixel. You're gonna be like, oh, okay. You're gonna feel what everybody talks about with Android phones and why so many people love Android phones. Don't do this. Let me tell you what don't do. All right, let me tell you what to not do. Don't say, you know what, I want to try an Android phone. Let me go out and get a Moto G stylus. Now, don't get me wrong. This phone right now is $250, and to me, this is 120 hertz refresh rate. You know, better zoom quality in the cameras. This is $250, and this will still mop up this iPhone 16e. Now, the iPhone processor, of course, is going to be way better. But don't go out and get this phone and say, oh, okay, this is going to be my daily driver. Oh, you know, I don't like it. I'm going back to iOS. No, because you went to a peasant Android phone. Go to a big boy Android phone. Do that. Now, of course, somebody's going to say, oh, this has the new C1 modem. You know what I'm saying? You know, and this is the type of shit that Apple does. Apple will say, okay, we got the new C1 modem, the new A18 chipset, and people will be like, I don't even know what that is, but yo, this is the new C1, this is the new C1 modem. Fuck it, I need that. Bro, you know, this is the kind of stuff that in the real world, you're not going to notice, especially if you're buying this for the kids or your parents. They don't care about the C1 modem. Okay, your kid is not going to care about the C1 modem. They're not going to care. They're going to care about when they pull their phone out, are they going to get cooked? They're going to pull their phone out. They want cinematic mode. They want their videos to look cinematic like their friends' videos. Okay? They don't, when they taking their selfies, they don't want to look like they got the peasant phone. They're going to want to look like they got the big boy. Anyway, I'm going to keep this video short and sweet. The iPhone 16e. The E stands for enough. This is just enough phone for Apple to sell to make you realize that this ain't the phone you want. This is just enough phone for you to get and play with it and look at it and be like, you know what? Why the fuck would I want this if I could get this? If you're gonna buy this phone, all right, if you're gonna buy this phone, do yourself a favor. All right, this is not usually when you're buying an iPhone Pro Max, you don't gotta go to the Apple store and play with it. You already know it's gonna be dope. Just order it and get it. This is one of those times that you're gonna want to go to your neighborhood Apple store and play with the phone for a few minutes. Play with the phone for a few minutes, put it down, and then pick up an iPhone 15 Pro Max and play with it for a few minutes. And if this is too big, pick up an iPhone 15 Pro. Play with it for a few minutes. Do yourself a favor. Do me a favor, okay? Do me a favor, but better yet, do yourself a favor. Save your money. Do not buy this fucking Mickey Mouse bullshit. Don't jump on the bandwagon. Don't believe the hype. Oh, 48 megapixels, some new dual camera sensors. The zoom is trash. The camera's mediocre. I mean, the display out in the sunlight, you can barely see it. I mean, bro, this is 4,500 nits brightness. Okay, this is one of the brighter Android phones. Let me show you something. Watch this. Let me just show you something real quick. Look at the photos on this. Bro, hold up. I took a lot of dope photos with this Oppo. Bro. Look at that zoom. Another one with the zoom. Look at the zoom. Anyway. Am I going to do a full review on this? Fuck no. Am I going to take this back to Apple and get my money back? No, because I don't do that. That's why you see I still got all my 16s. I still got all my 14s. I'm not going to do that because that kind of messes up the game. Everybody if you do want to be a banana head and buy this, you don't need my used shit. So I'm going to keep this one. What I'll do is when my daughter comes home from college, she's going to want a brand new MacBook. I'll take all 4 of these phones, take them up to Apple, and get my discount for a new phone. Now, I'm not going to just take it back. And I didn't buy it just to make this video. Now, I will play with it. I will use it. Maybe I'll use it for some more roast material in the future. Maybe I will use it. I mean, you do have the camera button. The action button. I got mine set to flashlight. But you can set it for you want. There's no camera button. And you know what's crazy? The camera button on the 16, right? At first, I was like, this is a stupid fucking button. Nobody's going to use this. But after I started actually using it and learning how to actually use it, one of the things that I noticed is with the iPhones, the exposure is kind of high when you take videos. So being able to just quickly change the exposure from right here and take my shots, I started using the camera button and I actually like it. But anyway, this right here, man, this notch. Now, me personally, say whatever you want. Just the notch alone. I don't say if this phone came out right now and they said this got the new Apple A19. This is the new A19 chipset. It's not even. It's faster than the phone and the chipset on the 16 Pro Max. This is the A19. If this had the A19 chipset, it had 120 Hz refresh rate. The notch alone would make me say, nah, bro. Nah. The whole point of this tech game is to go further into the future. We want more tech. We want new tech. We want shit like this. You want innovation. You want new shit. You don't want to buy a phone that looks like the same phone you had 10 years ago. You want innovation. You want new shit. This phone right here is like going back in time, and not in a good way. This is going back in time in a bad way. This is the struggle phone. Remember a couple of years ago when you was going through the struggles and you had that iPhone 16e and now you finally got a promotion. You making money. You went out and you got a bigger and better iPhone, and then you went and got a bigger and better one after that. Then you graduated to the Max. Nah, bro. Nah. I'm not recommending this phone for your parents, okay? Now, personally, I think your parents would rather have a bigger phone with more screen real estate. But that's just me. But if your parents like small phones, you got this. And if your parents just want a decent phone, get them a 15. I'd get them an iPhone 15. Anyway, this is the iPhone 16e. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about this bullshit. All right, so one last thing I wanted to mention. Now, we got to come back to the 60 Hz refresh rate because I know a lot of people say in the real world, you don't notice the difference. But trust me when I tell you, you do. Now, I was off camera just playing with this for a few more minutes. And when you're scrolling side to side, you see how it just doesn't have a fluid feel to it. Now, here's an iPhone 16 Pro Max. You see, when you're scrolling side to side, it's nice and smooth. It's nice and smooth. This one is just, it kind of has a little stutter to it. And not really necessarily a stutter, but, maybe it's just me being petty. I just think it sucks. I just think it sucks, especially when, when you get used to using stuff like this, 185 hertz refresh rate, when you get used to stuff like this, it's hard to go back to this type of shit. Again, let me know what y'all think, though. Shout out to everybody rocking with me on Facebook, Foursquare, Twitter, Google+. Shout out to all the Google gangsters. I see y'all holding down that Facebook page. Shout out to everybody hitting me up on Voxer. And a special shout out to everybody rocking with me on Instagram. Y'all know that's where I'm at full time, 100% full throttle. And a special shout out to everybody rocking with the new stream on Sundays. Y'all already know. Stream gangsters on deck. Get your drinks ready. No meat boys allowed. Oh yeah, special shout out to everybody following me on Snapchat, Flossy_Carter, that's where I'm at. And a special shout out to the notification squad. I see y'all in the comment section early. #salute. Oh yeah, one more thing. I almost forgot. Fellas, ladies, say it with me. All y'all haters, all y'all trolls, close your eyes and picture me rolling. It's your boy Floss, I'm out. Deuces.
Enterprise, Spock here.
Spock won the beam up.
Affirmative, Captain. Enterprise out.
Energize.
Hey guys, Jerry Springer here. Subscribe to Flossy Carter for the real reviews. He has a tech channel on YouTube, and he already has over 2 million subscribers, so give him a look. You may like it, and it could be very useful. Take care of yourself and each other.